The Braxton family has always been one of reality television's most fascinating and complex dynasties. For more than a decade, audiences have watched Tony, Tamar, Tracy, Trina, and Towanda share their lives on camera, balancing fame, music, and sisterhood under constant public scrutiny. But lately, that picture-perfect image has started to crack. Towanda Braxton, the sister known for her calm honesty and quiet strength, has spoken out about something that's been brewing for years. She's accused her sister Tamar of playing the victim, not just on TV, but in real life. And those words have sent shockwaves through the entertainment world. Fans are calling it the most revealing insight into the Braxton family ever made public. Today, we're unpacking exactly what Towanda said, where this feud comes from, and why these revelations could forever change the way people view the Braxtons. From the outside, the Braxton sisters always seemed inseparable. Born into a close-knit, musically gifted family, they grew up harmonizing together long before cameras were ever present. Their journey from Maryland church choirs to national fame was inspiring, proof that family talent could lead to shared success. When Braxton Family Values premiered, audiences were drawn to their humor, love, and authenticity. But as the seasons went on, viewers began noticing cracks beneath the surface. Petty arguments turned emotional, loyalty was questioned, and jealousy quietly seeped into their dynamic. Towanda has now confirmed what many long suspected, that much of what fans saw was only the tip of the iceberg. Behind closed doors, she says Tamar often manipulated situations, controlling the narrative both on and off screen. While Tamar portrayed herself as misunderstood and unfairly targeted, Towanda claims this victim persona was a mask, one that allowed her to deflect responsibility while making others, particularly Towanda, appear unreasonable. What makes this revelation even more shocking is that Towanda says it's not new. The tension has been simmering for years, long before reality TV entered the picture. To understand how things got to this point, we need to go back to when the sisters' careers started diverging. Tony was already a global superstar, but when Tamar's solo career began gaining momentum, the family dynamic started shifting. Tamar's charisma and bold personality made her a natural on camera, while Towanda remained grounded, more focused on family and behind-the-scenes work. Insiders claim this difference became a source of silent rivalry. Tamar's growing fame allegedly brought her influence over how producers shaped storylines. Towanda reportedly felt overshadowed, that her voice and contributions were edited down while Tamar's emotional outbursts took center stage. In interviews, Towanda has often come across as composed and rational, but insiders say behind the scenes, she was frustrated. She saw how easily Tamar could control narratives, turning disagreements into sympathetic moments for herself. What looked like harmless drama on TV was, according to Towanda, a carefully crafted image. She believed Tamar used her platform to paint herself as the wounded party, even when she was the one instigating conflict. For Towanda, this wasn't just showbiz manipulation, it was a personal betrayal. Reality television thrives on conflict, and the Braxton family provided plenty. But as the years went on, the line between entertainment and real life began to blur. Towanda says that family gatherings that appeared lighthearted on camera were often layered with real resentment. Jokes that viewers laughed at sometimes carried hidden meanings, and off-camera arguments could last long after filming ended. One source close to the family described how editing often played a crucial role in shaping public perception. According to them, scenes that made Tamar appear attacked or victimized were often filmed after heated discussions that viewers never saw. Towanda would try to address issues calmly, but the final cut often made her look like the aggressor. Over time, she began to feel invisible, silenced by both the editing room and her sister's larger-than-life persona. This imbalance became a recurring pattern. Whenever Towanda tried to speak her truth or defend herself, Tamar allegedly turned defensive, reframing the conversation so that Towanda appeared unsympathetic. Friends of the family have said that Tamar's emotional intelligence made her adept at redirecting blame. She knew how to cry, how to express vulnerability, and how to win an audience's empathy, whether that audience was her family, fans, or millions of TV viewers. Towanda's patience eventually reached its limit. After years of being quiet, she decided it was time to speak out publicly, not to stir drama, but to reclaim her voice. She wanted people to understand that her silence had been mistaken for weakness. Her decision wasn't spontaneous. Insiders describe it as the culmination of years of emotional exhaustion. Towanda's revelations came with detailed examples. She pointed to moments when Tamar allegedly used her influence with producers to shape storylines. In one instance, during discussions about a family business project, Towanda presented detailed plans, but Tamar allegedly dismissed them publicly while privately convincing producers to downplay Towanda's contributions. When the episode aired, it appeared as though Tamar was the one being sidelined while Towanda looked dismissive, a perfect setup for the victim narrative that Tamar says Towanda had mastered. Towanda also accused Tamar of engaging in what she described as whisper campaigns, subtle efforts to control how others perceived her. She says Tamar would share selective information with family members, producers, and even the media, framing situations in a way that made herself look wronged and Towanda look unreasonable. Over time, these patterns allegedly isolated Towanda from her sisters. Some began to view her as overly sensitive or confrontational, not realizing that their perspectives were being shaped by Tamar's private conversations. Friends of the family have backed up parts of this account, saying that Tamar has a strong personality and can be difficult to challenge. One insider put it bluntly, Tamar always knows how to make herself the center of sympathy. It's not malicious, it's instinctive, but it hurts the people closest to her. Towanda, meanwhile, has built a reputation for being direct and unfiltered, which sometimes makes her honesty appear harsh. That contrast, Tamar's emotional expressiveness versus Towanda's straightforwardness, made it easy for fans to misinterpret their conflicts. As years passed, Towanda's frustration grew. Every time she tried to assert herself, she felt edited, misquoted, or dismissed. And every time Tamar cried on camera, public opinion leaned her way. It was a cycle Towanda couldn't escape. Until now. When Towanda's statements about Tamar's manipulation and victim playing hit social media, the internet went wild. Within hours, hashtags like #TeamTowanda and #TamarTruth were trending. Fans divided into camps, passionately defending their chosen sister. Some said Towanda's honesty was refreshing, that she was finally saying what others were too afraid to admit. Longtime viewers who had noticed similar patterns in past episodes felt validated. They began resurfacing old clips that, in light of Towanda's comments, seemed to take on new meaning. Others, however, accused Towanda of seeking attention or exploiting family pain for publicity. They pointed out that the Braxtons have always had public disagreements and suggested this was simply another chapter in their ongoing saga. But what made this time different was the tone. Towanda wasn't throwing shade or making vague remarks. She was specific, measured, and unapologetically honest. Content creators on YouTube and TikTok jumped into the fray, analyzing Towanda's claims frame by frame. Some made compilation videos showing Tamar's emotional reactions across the years, contrasting them with Towanda's calm demeanor. Others defended Tamar, arguing that she's long been open about her struggles with mental health and that Towanda's comments could reignite old wounds. Either way, the story dominated entertainment blogs and social platforms for days. For Tamar, the fallout has been complicated. For years, she's cultivated an image as the outspoken, bold, yet sensitive sister, a woman who isn't afraid to be vulnerable. Towanda's revelations challenged that narrative. Fans began re-watching old episodes of Braxton Family Values, looking for signs they might have missed, moments where Tamar's victim role seemed rehearsed rather than genuine. Scenes that once drew sympathy now raised eyebrows. The result has been a significant shift in perception. While Tamar still has a loyal fan base, more viewers are questioning whether her on-screen persona truly reflects who she is off-camera. For Towanda, the response has been mixed but largely supportive.
Many fans say they finally understand why she often appeared reserved or distant during family conflicts. They see her not as cold, but as someone trying to stay composed in the face of manipulation. Entertainment outlets have taken notice too. Commentators on celebrity talk shows and online podcasts are calling Towanda's statements a turning point in how reality TV families are viewed. They argue that editing and narrative control can distort real relationships, and Towanda's transparency offers a rare glimpse into that hidden machinery. Within the Braxton household, Towanda's statements have reportedly caused deep tension. While no one has made a detailed public statement, whispers from insiders suggest that some sisters quietly agree with Towanda but fear the backlash of speaking out. Others remain protective of Tamar, believing that public airing of grievances will only deepen divisions. Family meetings have allegedly become strained, and what was once typical sibling bickering now carries the weight of long-suppressed emotions. Towanda's revelations also force a difficult question about loyalty. In families like the Braxtons, where fame is intertwined with identity, speaking the truth can easily be seen as betrayal. But Towanda insists that her intention isn't to attack her sister, it's to reclaim her truth after years of being misrepresented. For her, silence was no longer an act of love, it had become complicity. Tamar, for her part, has remained largely quiet, neither confirming nor denying her sister's claims. Her silence has only fueled speculation. Some interpret it as guilt, others as maturity, an attempt to rise above drama. Regardless, the absence of her response has allowed the conversation to continue without her voice, making Towanda's narrative even more dominant in the public eye.
The Braxton family has built a legacy not just on music, but on authenticity. Their willingness to share their personal lives, the triumphs, heartbreaks, and sibling rivalries, has made them beloved by fans worldwide. But Towanda's decision to speak out redefines what authenticity means for the family. It suggests that even in a reality show built on real life, the truth can still be carefully edited, filtered, and packaged for consumption. For many fans, this revelation is sobering. It reminds them that fame can amplify insecurities and rivalries, turning ordinary family tensions into televised entertainment. Towanda's story humanizes that process. Her words peel back the glamorous facade and expose the emotional cost of living under constant public scrutiny. Industry insiders say these revelations might influence how producers handle future Braxton projects. Some speculate that networks may shift focus, giving Towanda a larger platform, or exploring the family dynamic through a more transparent lens. Others worry that the damage may be too deep to repair, that years of resentment have fractured the sisterhood beyond repair. Either way, the Braxton legacy will never look the same. Towanda Braxton's decision to speak her truth has opened a new chapter in the ongoing story of the Braxton family. Whether you believe every detail or not, her courage to confront painful realities has sparked important conversations about accountability, authenticity, and how fame can distort family relationships. Her revelations highlight the emotional complexity of sisterhood, especially when love, loyalty, and ambition collide in the public eye. Tamar's silence adds an element of mystery. Perhaps she's choosing peace over confrontation, or perhaps she's waiting for the right time to tell her side. What's undeniable is that Towanda's words have shifted the narrative, forcing both fans and media to reconsider the dynamics that have played out on screen for years. As the dust settles, one thing becomes clear. The Braxtons are not just reality TV characters, they are real women navigating fame, family, and forgiveness. Towanda's story may be painful, but it also offers a chance for healing, not just for her, but for the sisters who share her blood and history. In the end, truth always finds a way to surface, even in a family built on harmonies and headlines.